Welcome back to another Wrath of the Righteous build video. I'm Artie as always. Today we're going to talk about Nenio. Nenio is all about knowledge. If she don't know it, she forget, or if she doesn't want to know it, she forgets it. She learns something new, it's not important, she forgets it. Cool thing about Nenio, she has some secrets for us, some things she doesn't always want to share. But she starts out as a scroll savant. We're going to turn her into a scroll savant Loremaster. She starts out with spell focus illusion, which is nice. Um, we start adding stuff to her at level 4. She comes in at level 3. So, like I said, we start out with spell focus illusion, and as you know, I love, she gets spell penetration already. We got to get through that spell resist that people have. She's Kitsune. A little bit of a spoiler there, but you know. She's a scholar arcane, so we're going to focus on the arcane stuff. With the scroll savant, she gets a scroll focus. She gets a bonus to UMD. Very nice. She gets the arcane bond object, which means if she casts a spell, she doesn't have any more castings of that. We can use the arcane bond and we can get another casting of that spell. Of course, she can scribe scrolls. She's a scroll savant. She is specialized in illusion, and she has 2 opposition schools, which is abjuration, which kind of sucks because these are things like resist energy and stuff like that. Really good buffs. However, if other people can cast them, it's not that bad. The other one is necromancy here. It's not nearly as detrimental. However, you can use these to and cast them, they just will take 2 spell slots instead of 1. So if no one else can cast resist magic or resist energy communal, you can still use it with her. It's just using up 2 spell slots instead of 1. Not ideal, but it can be done. So first selection here is level 4. Sorry, we're going to go all the way to level 10 to pick up the most important part of Scroll Savant, which is to be announced. Stay tuned. We're gonna keep adding to her intelligence here. This is what she used for scrolls. For every character, every build I've ever made, I'm always gonna tell you make a plan for your team of who's gonna specialize in what as far as skills, and pick accordingly. I always suggest use the class skills. That way you're gonna get the +3 um, to those class skills. So we'll just pick what I picked on here, but like I said, pick what you want to pick. As far as spells, I will show you what I usually pick here or what I like at that time period. But you can use any scroll in the game as far as arcane scrolls, and you can scribe them into your book. So the choices we make in the character levels up is not as important as like a spontaneous caster. Just keep that in mind. Um, these are just what I usually pick and whatnot. So we're gonna pick blur and invisibility here. Into level 5. Scroll Savant, of course. Get them skills that you want to get. Our feet. We are gonna get, you know me, Greater Spell Pen. I don't want to waste those spells. And we're gonna pick up Displacement and Haste. Now, the reason I get these 2 here is because one, there's not a lot of their scrolls around, and if like there's a scroll of haste, instead of wasting it to scribe it into my scroll, I'd rather be able to use it. So that's why I pick up those 2. Level 6. Continuing on. What I normally take here is Spike Pit, some Stinking Cloud. Usually somebody has some protection of poison. Spike Pit, we want to focus saving throws. As you'll notice for the spells I select, I try to vary the saving throw that we are attacking for the creature. So some monsters might be strong against reflex saves, but not will saves, or vice versa. So I try to give a variety to myself. All right, as we're leveling up, what we're going to do, whenever a mythic rank becomes available, I'm just going to take it. It might not be the same for every person. Like here, level 6, that's usually the time you get your first mythic rank, unless you're doing like solo or something really extreme. But the further we go in levels, the more discrepancy it could be to your game. Like if you turn off experience sharing, stuff like that, you could be 4 levels higher than what this suggests your mythic rank would be at that time. But just for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to take as it comes. So first mystic rank, we're going to take abundant casting. It gives us 12 more spells, 4 more casts of first level, second level, and third level each. And we want to be able to cast spells. As you can see, look, we got 10 of first, 10 of second, and 8 of third now. Level 7, we're staying with Scroll Savant. Let's get some persuasion in there, or perception. All right, level 7, we need to start qualifying for Loremaster now. So I'll take Meta Magic here, and I usually take Extend. This could double the length of a buff spell that we have, or it could double the length of like Phantasmal Web or Web itself, where it's gonna last on the ground longer. And what do I do here? Probably Greater Invis, Phantasmal Killer. A lot of our illusion is going to be focusing on will, so that's I do try to vary it as much as possible, just so we have something for every situation. And level 8. Oh, I forgot. We got a mythic rank here, 7. And as you know, I love me some spell pan. So add half your mythic rank to your caster level checks to overcome spell resistance. But we do have greater spell pen, so now we're adding our full mythic rank. So we're getting a +2 to spell pen at this rank. And as you can see at the end, we can get a +10, which is very, very end of the game. So, but I hate casting a spell and it just be wasted because I didn't pass the spell penetration check. It's like a whole wasted turn. And I lost my spell. All right, so level 8, we keep going into intelligence. Now we got a crap ton of skills just because we reach another threshold of our intelligence. Level 8, I usually go with conjuration and our rainbow pattern. Rainbow pattern fascinates a maximum of 24 HD of a creature. HD is basically the level creatures. So you could have 2 level 12s and that would bring it at its maximum. But even if it fails its save, it can still become dazed. So I really like that. So it's not totally, if they save, nothing happens. And for the conjuration, shadow conjuration, the shadow ones, what they do basically, you can cast all the conjuration spells first, second, and third, but you're going to cast them at a 4th level because shadow conjuration is level 4. But they're only, if they pass their will save, they're only 20% as strong. Same thing with like creatures and the damage. So basically you're looking to pass a will save when you're using anything shadow, conjuration, or evocation. Level 9. Get our skills in here. And level 9, we got one more thing to qualify. Come on. Follow me down. Skill focus. And I'm gonna go with knowledge arcana. That's what everything she's focused on is arcana. So we'll continue that. Help us identify those items. Level 9 here, I take Phantasmal Web and Shadow Evocation. I really like Phantasmal Web. So it's basically a web, but you don't have to worry about it affecting us. All right, Mythic rank 3. And we're going to take Improved Abundant Casting. So 12 more spells. Well, at this point, we're not going to have level 6 spells. So, but we're still getting 4 more 5th, or 4th, 4 more 5th, and eventually we'll get 4 more 6th. I'd love to have lots of spells, as you can see here. And this is going to be our 10th level of Scroll Savant. And I usually take Baleful. It's not an illusion transmutation, but it does focus on a fortitude save. And then the other one I take is Icy Prism, another CC ability, and it's a reflex save. So varying those saves. And now we get the final part of our Scroll Savant, which is we can use our own caster level instead of the item's caster level when using the scroll. So if it says it's a level 2 cast of such and such, that doesn't matter to us. Well, it'll be a level 10 casting of such and such. All right, now we're going to start level 11. Now we can start getting our Loremaster in here. There's going to be a few things we got to talk about Loremaster first, though. So our feat, we're going to take our greater spell focus into illusion, get those DCs up as high as we can. All right, first thing for Loremaster, it says we should be continuing our levels of our wizard. Unfortunately, the first level in Loremaster is not continuing our spell progression. So it's skipping one like it does for Arcane Trickster and such like that. So, but it's saying that it shouldn't. So we're going to end with a caster level 19 instead of caster level 20. And as you can see at the top here, we don't get our 2 selections of our spells. And next part is here where it should be, as you can see here. Okay, let me just explain it this way. We should be able to have a cleric spell we could pick or a druid spell we could pick. But as you can see here, it's not. And then this is a wizard spell. Well, I figured, wizard spell. We're a wizard, so why would we pick a wizard spell? We get to pick that anyway. But I went and tested if I was a cleric and I got to Loremaster, would cleric spell be there? No. Cleric spell and druid spell aren't there. Same thing if I was a druid, cleric spell, druid spell are not there. So it seems like it's just not working as intended. The other thing I think is not working as intended is like we're gonna take a combat feat for our first secret. You can pick any feat. It doesn't matter if you qualify for it or not. So there's probably some really broken crap you can do with this. And I guess I'll take a little bit of advantage of it, not some craziness, but we want to take precise shot. If we're going to do a ranged touch attack or whatnot, we don't want to take that -4 penalty when we cast it into melee combat. Normally you have to take point blank shot first and get it, but we're going to be able to just take precise shot. I don't think that's taken too bad of advantage of the situation. All right, Mythic rank 4. And here we're going to do spell focus illusion, increasing those DCs more. So this one is going to increase our DC by 2 because we have regular spell focus and we have greater spell focus. Level 12. Get our Loremaster. Get our int, of course. And your skills you wanted. And now it continues our spell progression now. So normally we should have been selecting this at 11, but unfortunately it didn't let us. So I like Phantasmal Putrefaction. This is awesome. Again, it's a will, and then there's a fortitude for partial. It is a mind affecting, so keep that in mind. But those who fail to disbelieve take 1d4 points of wisdom damage. It only occurs once, and then each round after that, they have to continuously do a will save. If the target fails, they have to succeed at a fortitude save or faint falling asleep. Waking up doesn't end the spell. They just have to continue making their will save to disbelieve. I really like this spell. This is pretty crazy. And the other one I don't have a huge preference for. We could do Stone to Flesh. You know, there's some things that will turn you to stone or petrification. And these scrolls are not abundant, especially at level 12. Or you could take like Owl's Wisdom Mask to increase your saves, or Cast Grace Mask to increase your AC. Just continuously always look at what scrolls you guys have available at the shops. And you can see we have tons of spells to throw out every round, so we don't have to be too shy. All right, level 3 of Loremaster. 13, we're going to take Improved Initiative. Make us go sooner in the turn order. You know, we get a +4 to initiative checks now. And then we're going to take our Rogue Secret. And the same thing applies here. It lets us take anything out of here at all, no matter what prerequisites. And I don't think that's working as intended. So we'll go with something, you know, that we should be able to pick, which is a familiar. And we're going to pick a hare. So we're getting another +4 to initiative. So this level, we're getting +8 to initiative checks. And then a +2 perception, which is okay. So 13, I usually take some True Seeing. If we don't have it yet, Stone to Flesh. We should be very high up on the turn order. One of the first people to be going in a round now. All right, level 4, Loremaster. All right, I'm 14. I usually take, you know, Shadow Conjuration Greater. Like those shadow spells. It gives us a lot of options because you can cast so many spells with that one. And then, what do I normally go here? Prismatic Spray, probably, yeah. So as you can see, there's different. It's a whole bunch of different saves. Increases in the area spell HD less H8 HD or less are automatically blinded. And then every creature in the area randomly struck by one or more beams that have additional effects. So it could randomly be any one of these things. They can go insane. Send it to another plane. There we go. I don't use it a ton, but it comes in handy, you know, because you got to watch out. It's not. You can hit your own people with it. Sometimes that's not a good time. All right, we're doing our 5th level here. And we're going to get some more spell casting. Greater abundant casting. Now we get 12 more casts. 7th, 8th, 9th. Obviously, we're not using all of those yet, but we will very, very soon. See, we're only at 7 right now, so our 8th and 9th aren't being used yet. But they will be. And it is great. Level 5 Loremaster. Get them skills we want. All right, fifth. I like to go specialization, spell specialization. That is. Come on. As you can see, treat your caster level as being too higher than for all variables affected by the spell. And that's good for our illusion stuff. Because we're going to cast it like we're 2 levels higher, so the DC is going to be higher. Right? DC, yeah, DC will be higher. So I really like Phantasmal Putrefaction, so I select this. And here, I think I usually do another Meta Magic for Heighten. And we can change, so now we can change any of our, like our Phantasmal Web, we could change it to a level 6 casting or whatever when we can cast level 6 spells. So that's increasing our DC. We don't have a ton of, blast some spells. So like Empower and stuff like that doesn't help in those situations. 15. I like to just, Icy Body, immune to some things. And I think you can't drink, unfortunately. So no potions for us when we have this on. We're immune to cold, but we're vulnerable to fire, which we can get rid of later. And then, key shouts, pretty good. Fortitude partial. So you can do damage and stun for 1 round, or if they make their save, they get half damage, but it negates the stun. So it still does something if they save. And we're widening our selection of saves as far as reflex, fortitude, or will. 6th level mythic. Now we're going to do expanded arsenal magic school. So what this is going to do, all the bonuses from your feats and mythic feats that apply to another school of magic, such as spell, focus, blah, 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 now apply to your chosen school of magic too. So everything that we've been bumping up in illusion, our spell, focus, the DCs and stuff like that, is all going to apply to evocation as if we took them for evocation as well. So all this spell focus mythic, the regular spell focus, the greater spell focus, is going to apply to both illusion and evocation now. So now we can do some good fireballs and such like that. Spell specialization, I keep it the same here, I believe. Yeah, I think I keep it the same. Hopefully my phone doesn't start blowing up. All right. 6. 26. Int. Nice. And we just got a crap ton of skills. So bring up what you want to bring up. And 16. Oh, yes. We're going to get us some evocation greater and scintillating pattern. As you can see, this changes based on the HDs, and the spell affects a total number of HD of creatures equal to your caster level. So maximum of 20 HD. And you can see what, the lowest HD creatures are affected first, blah, blah, blah. And you can see it does various things to different HD creatures. And then we're going to level 17. Not 17, mythic rank 7. What am I talking about? Come on. All right, 7th. Now I like to take powerful shadows. As we talked about earlier, that 20% portion for the shadow spells. Now our shadow spells are 20% more real. So it's taking away some of that 20%. That's in all of it. Look at all them casts we got. Ooh, really nice. All right, Loremaster 7. Oh, and this one, we really, at this point, we basically have everything we need as far as feeds. Yeah, I mean we've gotten just about everything we can think of. Um, so I usually go deft hands here, as far as combat that is, maybe elemental focus if you want to do something like that. If you're using a lot of fireballs or such. But I usually like to focus her on illusion stuff. So I take deft hands. It's just increasing that UMD check. So when I'm using those scrolls, I have a lot less chance of failing. All right, so now we don't have much left with the Loremaster secrets because not everything is included, unfortunately. But I like to not. I like to pass our saving throws that are will based, and we're a scroll savant, so our will saving throws are really high. But this really, really helps. I'm not a fan of missing will saves. A lot of times it can be very detrimental. All right, we're going to do that angelic aspect greater here. This is a lot of good things in here. I didn't manually select angelic aspect, but you usually do get a scroll and put it in my book and use it. You get immunities, you get DR10 evil, resistance to electricity and fire 10. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here. It's only a personal buff, but this is nice to have for sure. And then Sea Mantle is pretty cool. So Sea Mantle, you sheathe yourself. You can hear and see and everything, but attacks made against you are treated as if you were under the surface of water. So you can gain a +8 bonus to AC, +4 bonus to reflex saves, which is really nice because our reflex saves aren't that high, unless they have freedom of movement for some reason. And then you're immune to fire. So now you have icy body, immune to cold. Now you have sea mantle, you're immune to fire. Does not enable you to make stealth checks, what we're not really doing, or prevent attacks opportunity. Magical attacks against you are unaffected unless they acquire attack rolls. So, but Sea Mantle and Icy Body together are a really good combination. All right, so now we rank again. And we're going to go School Mastery Illusion. All spells that cast belong to this school have their cast level increased by 1. And because Loremaster wasn't giving us all of them, we would have ended at 19, but now with this, we're going to end at 20. And remember, because of expanded arsenal, this is going to apply to our evocation casts as well. And level 17, you end up 2 at the same time, just because this later level, it's a lot of experience to level up. So here, I didn't go with enduring spells and stuff. I wanted to focus on those illusion spells. So I like to take inspirational leader with her. There's not a lot other that really stands out, super important to me at this point, and I like the bonuses that's given to everybody. Everyone gets a +1 to their initiative, equal to bonus equal to half your mythic rank. So it's going to be 4 +1. So everyone's going to get a +5 to initiatives. Their saving throws against mind affecting effects, which is very nice, and their concentration checks, which could be useful for some frontline clerics and such like that. You just got to be within 50 feet, which we try to keep ourselves pretty close. All right, level 18. Getting near the end. Give us that Loremaster. All right, and the crazy ones, shades. So now it functions like shadow conjuration, except it mimics conjuration spells of 8th level or lower. So you cast any of those as a 9th level spell, and it conjurations created deal 4/5 or 80% damage to non-believers. So we took, and it made our shadow spells are 20% more real, and non-damaging effects 80% more likely to work against non-believers. So basically, we're negating that 20%. And then weird. Again, this is a enemy only. It functions like Phantasmal Killer, except it can affect more than one creature. So you could go 40 enemies in a really small bundle. I mean, that's probably not going to happen, but there could be a lot of enemies in a small area. And not even that small, 30 foot. You throw this out there, and you could kill all of them without even having to fight. They have a will to disbelieve, like all of the, and then the other one is a fortitude, and it's a partial at that. So even if they don't straight up die, they're still taking damage, and they take 1d4 points of strength damage. So weird is pretty strong, very strong. And you see, look, we have 6 casts of our level 9 spells. Level 19, Loremaster again. Get what you want. 19, and here I am again, as always, reinforcing my will saves, because I hate not passing will saves. Like I said, these last 2 feats, you can pick something else if you'd like. I like to sure up my defensive. Well, sure up my defense with Iron Will, sure up, then I'm gonna actually cast a UMD check, which I shouldn't have any problems with because I've been putting UMD so high, but you never know, man. I roll -1 sometimes in this game. It's crazy. Our secret here, I do fort save. Fortitude, both of these are not high. But I like to pass those fort saves more than worry about the reflex saves. And here, now we can get Fiery Body, which is almost doing the same thing as Sea Metal did for us. But we do get a +6 enhancement to our dex score, which is really awesome, because then if we did want to shoot out a raise spell or touch attack, not a raise spell, but a touch attack, we're increasing that attack by 3. We get some acid resist, and as long as we have icy body, we won't take any damage from cold, and we're immune to all the things again. Immune to fire, and in fact, fire actually heals us. What do I? Oh, and then I'll do icy prison mass. Another thing, reflex like before, but this time, multiple enemies we can CC. Again, if you find these scrolls, describe them. Don't even hesitate. Because there's so many different situations in this game. You could be using 4 spells, 1 encounter, and you go to another area and you need to use 4 different. So situations vary a lot in this game. All right, so now that you guys have gotten near the end, or scroll to the end instead of listen to me talk so damn much. So there is a little thing with Nenio, actually Kitsune in general. So Kitsune can change themselves into humans, which is a shape change. So if we took Master Mythic ability, Master Shapeshifter, as long as we keep her in her human form, she will get this benefit to her ability scores. So as long as you keep her in human form, she'll get a +4 to strength, dex, and con. I don't know if that's really intended, because this seems more like it's made for like a druid who's turned themselves into a bear, or somebody who's turned themselves into a dragon or something like that. But it does work for Kitsune and Nenio. I don't really trust that that's working as intended, but that is so good. I mean, I might even get spell pen Mythic and just shift that stuff down, or maybe hold off on your improved abundant casting and get your spell pen Mythic, and then here take the Mythic ability Shapeshifter. Because that is a lot. That's more hit points, more carrying capacity, because she doesn't have much strength at all, and more chance to hit, and more AC, which doesn't really matter for her. I didn't take that because it does seem a little weird that that's working, but it is an option. I just wanted to let you guys know that it is an option, but I try to not take advantage of some things, especially since the game's pretty new. There's a lot of things they're working on, little bugs here and there. It's a huge game, so it's hard to get everything. I take improved initiative. So we're damn near at the last like 3 battles by Mythic rank 10. But now we're getting a +10 to initiative as well. So remember, we got +8 to initiative just from one level earlier, and now we're getting +10. So we're getting +18 to our initiative check plus our natural roll. So we should damn near be first person going in the round. And that is one more level left. Level 10, Loremaster. Finish out our build. And here, our initiative is already an even number, so I just throw it into Dex, adds one more. Look at our initiative, +21. That's crazy. Some more chance to hit, some more initiative. All right, level 20. If you haven't gotten everything scribed into your book from scrolls or whatnot, just take whatever's left. I like Foresight. It's a nice buff. You're never flat-footed. +2 insight to AC and on reflex saves. And you can put on anybody. It's not just yourself. And heroic invocation is pretty cool too. All allies in 30 feet, and it's a pretty long buff. I mean, 200 minutes at this level. They gain a +4 morale bonus on attack damage and gain 2d8 +4 temporary hit points. And you become immune to fear and charm effects. And that is Nenio. Really like this girl. All her comments and everything like that is really funny. And her story is pretty cool too. All right, that is it for Nenio, the Loremaster. If you guys like the video, let me know. Hit the like button. Follow. I'll keep having build videos on here. If there's any questions you had or suggestions, leave them in the comments. I usually get back to just about everyone who leaves a comment questions or concerns or suggestions for different things or different builds or that you guys want to see. But I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one.